Thank you for stopping back by Swordbox for our Thursday message. Today's verse continues in 1 Corinthians 13:7 in reference to love. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Mickey continues our series today and discusses the unconditional love that God has for you, his child.
We've been talking about love this week, and just real briefly today I want to talk a little bit about the fact that God's love for us is unconditional. You know, when I think about all the things I've done wrong since I was saved at such an early age, you know, I really didn't come to God at 5.5 years old, having been in the Hells Angels and committed murders or anything like that. But certainly, even after being a Christian, we can get caught up in so many different types of sin. We can get so far in a far country, just like the prodigal son. And especially, I think, for Christians, it can place an extra guilt on us. The lost, they're really not that concerned about sin. But once we become Christians, we know we're called to holiness. We know we're called to live a holy life. And it can be very difficult for a Christian who's backslidden and gotten into all kinds of sin to believe that God still unconditionally loves them. But it's really true. You know, in Romans 5:8 we're told that God demonstrated his own love for us, and that while we were yet still sinners, Christ died for us. So God looked from eternity into time before we were ever born or ever created. He saw the very worst of us. He saw all of our sin. And when he died on the cross, he paid for all of our sin. We are acceptable to God not based on our performance. We're acceptable to God not based on how good we are, because we know, as we've talked about before, our righteousness is as filthy rags before a holy God. God's love for you and God's love for me is absolutely unconditional. He loves you. And the only way that's going to keep you from receiving his love is to deny and refuse his son, Jesus Christ. That's the good news of the gospel, that Jesus Christ came and died for you and me. We can't earn his salvation, we can't earn his grace, and we can't earn his love. He loves you just the way you are. He created you special, and he created you unique. And God is a loving God, and he wants to have fellowship with you. He wants to give you a new life, and he wants to spend eternity in heaven with you. God bless you. We'll see you back here tomorrow.